Today on Motorz, Chris continues working on our Jeep Wrangler, showing you how to install sway bars, new bumpers, and a winch. Then, Alan test drives the all-new 2015 Mustang and even gets one up on its side. So buckle up and hold on tight, because Motorz starts now!
That looks good. Hey, welcome to Motorz. Now in our last episode, I introduced our new project vehicle, a Jeep Wrangler, and showed you how to lift it with a suspension lift kit from Metal Cloak. In today's episode, I'm going to install new Hellwig sway bars, new bumpers from VPR4X4, along with a new Superwinch Tiger Shark winch. Alan takes the new 2015 Ford Mustang for a test drive and interviews Jim Owens from Ford to learn more. Of course, I've got new products and viewer mail too. So let's get right into it with those sway bars. Now I've shown you how to install sway bars from Hellwig products in the past, both on our F-150 as well as our Mustang. You can head on over to our website at motorz.tv and punch in Hellwig to find those episodes. Now our Jeep Wrangler comes with stock sway bars, and the reason why we're upgrading them is because the Hellwig ones are beefier, which is going to help with our performance, and the front sway bars and their end links are adjustable, which is going to help us customize our suspension performance. Installing aftermarket sway bars is one of the quickest and most effective suspension mods that you can make to your vehicle. It can be done with basic hand tools. Now whether you've got a stock, lifted, or lowered suspension, you're going to feel the difference next time you make a turn or even change lanes. Now it's easy as removing the old front and rear sway bars than installing the new ones. For detailed step-by-step episodes, visit our website at motorz.tv. VPR4X4 makes a variety of bumpers for both trucks and SUVs, and they were perfect for our project. They include 1-inch D-ring mounts, and the front bumper can house up to a 12,000-pound winch. Using some basic hand tools like a ratchet and socket, remove the bolts holding the stock bumper on. Then disconnect the wiring harness for the lights and carefully remove the bumper. Our winch of choice was this Superwinch Tiger Shark 11,500-pound winch, which comes with a synthetic rope, remote, and hook. It mounts directly to the front of our VPR4X4 bumper, tucked up inside so it can't be stolen, along with the included CNC'd billet aluminum fairlead. Fully assembled, here's what it looks like compared to the stock Jeep bumper. But before you can mount the new bumper, you've got to transplant those fog lights, and that's easy enough to do with a drill driver or just a screwdriver. In preparation for mounting the bumper, install the supplied mounting bracket to the frame. Be sure to keep these bolts loose for now and then tighten them up later. Now get some help, this thing is super heavy, especially with that winch installed. Carefully put it into place, then secure it with the supplied hardware. Having some air tools or an electric impact wrench will certainly help speed things up. To finish the bumper, I installed the supplied VPR4X4 accent pieces using the supplied hardware. To finish up the winch installation, I carefully snaked the positive and negative wires from the winch up to the battery. As you can see, I took my time routing it away from the engine and hiding it for a clean look. You might want to use some zip ties too to tidy things up. The included heavy-duty rubber-sealed handheld remote control from Superwinch provides easy switching between forward and reverse. I used this D-ring so I could secure the included heavy-duty hook. Now for more information on Superwinch's wide range of winches and accessories, head to superwinch.com. Now here's something really trick. It's called the ProLink, a lightweight built aluminum shackle mount for winch cables and ropes from Factor 55, made right here in the USA. Now the cool thing about this product is that the rope is captured into the body of the ProLink by a removable 5/8" double titanium shear pin, and it won't scratch up the fairlead thanks to the included rubber guard. Now for more information, go to factor55.com. Now don't go anywhere, because when we come back from our break, we're going to replace that rear bumper with a new one from VPR4X4.
It just never ends with you. I feel like if it's not one thing, it's another. Well, that ends today.
The Craftsman C3 line. One battery, more than 30 tools, and the power to tackle any job that stands in your way.
You're welcome.
The C3 line from Craftsman. Get the new, more powerful XCP battery now runs up to 4 times longer. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Hey, welcome back to Motorz and to the back of our Jeep. We're all done up front, so it's time to attack the back. Like the front bumper, just remove a few factory bolts and the rear bumper is set free. Now take a look at our factory bumper sit next to the new one from VPR4X4. After removing our hitch mount, install the supplied plate with the thicker part of the plate on the bottom using the supplied hardware. Carefully put the new bumper in place, attach it to the plates, then tighten everything down using a ratchet, sockets, and wrenches. The VPR4x4 wheel carrier is a nice addition and mounts directly to their bumper. But before I could install it, I had to remove the stock wheel carrier and the third brake light, which I'll need to relocate later. I used a Torx T20 for the light. Place the wheel carrier mount into the bumper's receiver for it and swing it closed so that you can install the handle and latch assembly. I ended up removing the bump stop on the right and leaving just the one on the left in place in order to make it close properly. Install the handle and latch using the supplied hardware along with a 1/2-inch socket and 3/16-inch hex driver. Make your adjustments so the wheel carrier closes tightly. The mount for the wheel goes on next, and this guy has a lot of ways it can be adjusted and mounted. Due to the size of our 35-inch spare, I ended up lowering it and flipping it upside down to give us the clearance that we needed out of the rear window. For more information on VPR4x4's complete line of products for trucks and SUVs, visit VPR4x4.com. Now for our hitch receiver, I added Factor 55's aluminum hitch link, which is rated at 9,500 pounds. Another red accent piece I added to the Jeep are these easy-to-install covers from MGP Caliper Covers. They install right over your brake calipers. They come in any factory OEM paint color, can include a logo, and are a quick way to improve the appearance of those unsightly brakes. Now for more information on these, head on over to calipercovers.com. A few episodes ago, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of the Ford Mustang and the awesome all-new 2015 year model. Now that they're available, I asked Alan to take them out for a spin. Let's see what he had to say about driving Ford's latest.
Thanks, Chris. I'm here in Malibu, California with the 2015 Mustang. We've heard about it, we've seen it. Now it's time to take the 50th anniversary Mustang for a test drive. Let's go for a ride. 1964 was the year Mustang first hit the market, and 1,964 is the number of special edition Mustangs Ford has made to celebrate the 50th anniversary of a car that has become an American icon. But I'm sorry to tell you, it's already too late to buy yours. Those 1,964 special edition Mustangs were immediately gobbled up by ravenous Mustang enthusiasts like me and Chris. Upon its debut, the Mustang was unlike anything to date. When a Mustang roared by, men drooled and women swooned. But 50 years later, our love affair has not changed. Though all the car's mechanics and engineering sure have, the all-new Mustang has improved ride, handling, and all of the latest advanced technologies and more fuel-efficient power, with 3 available engines ranging from over 300 horsepower on up to 435 horsepower from the factory. The car I'm driving today is Mustang's new 2.3-liter 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine with a whopping 310 horsepower. That's right, 310 horsepower. It's absolutely amazing. 310 horsepower from this 4-cylinder. This car has more power than Mustang's current V6. I'm happy to say that this has the speed, acceleration, and handling that I would expect from the all-new Mustang. This car stays true to history with a long sculpted hood and short rear deck, but it has a wider stance and steeper windshield slope to improve aerodynamics. Drivers experience a smoother ride, and they do this from an aviation-inspired cockpit that puts state-of-the-art technology at your fingertips. I can create my ideal experience by just a few adjustments with some switches on the console to set steering effort, engine response, as well as transmission and electric stability control settings. I feel in control, comfortable, but definitely not confined like some of the other pony cars I've driven. The car's increased width is really noticeable. This car, along with each of Mustang's 3 available engines, has a unique grille that allows only as much air as that specific power plant needs. I'm really loving this 4-cylinder, but now let's see how it compares to the Mustang Coyote V8. Another nice boost of power, and I'm off! Now this car is a force to be reckoned with. It has 435 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque, and you can feel it instantly. It has fantastic power, and the handling as I carve through these corners is just great, just as I hoped. With more power, you better have big brakes to back it up. Mustang installed a new double ball joint front McPherson strut system to enable the use of larger, more powerful brakes. There's also an all-new integral link independent rear suspension. The geometry, springs, dampers, and bushings have all been specifically modified and tuned for this high-performance application. Both cars have strong engines with performance we have grown to expect and respect from Mustang. The 2015 Mustang is sleek, sexy, strong, and responsive. All around, this Mustang is a powerful tribute to its 50-year legacy. Back to you, Chris.
Incredible! Now, as awesome as this new Mustang sounds, I wanted to know a lot more. So here's Alan with Jim Owens from Ford to tell us about the new underbelly.
So you guys know I drive a lot of cars, and I finally got a chance to drive the 50th anniversary Mustang. Unfortunately, I got this one on its side, but not without purpose. Jim Owens. Jim, how you doing?
Good, Alan. Thanks for having me here today.
Now, you're the important guy with this car because this has been your baby for a long time, and you're helping the world understand the brand new 50th anniversary Mustang.
We are so happy to have 50 years of Mustang, and we are so glad that your driving actually put it here in this position for us today. No, we're glad with all that you do for the automotive community. We're so glad to be here with you today.
It's important for people to see now fully independent rear suspension and a whole lot more going underneath the car, so we got to get the car on its side to check it out.
You don't want to be in this position in a car, but it's always nice to be able to see the engineering that provides you that support while you're driving. And it's not just fully independent rear suspension, it's fully independent front and rear and completely redesigned.
From the ground up, this is a brand new car.
Brand new platform. As you talk generations, right? Mustang geeks talk generations. Right. This is the 6th generation. Platform complete up from 2005 to 2015 is generation 6.
I took it for a ride and it felt German engineered, which is a good thing.
Well,
they're known for their engineering.
The American muscle car, solid rear axle with the 2014, was always solid rear axle for Mustang. The driving dynamics that independent rear suspension provides you allows us to reach to a different audience. It goes from not only the quintessential American muscle car to that world-class sports car as well, which will draw a complete new generation of geeks like you and I.
And now I know that there's a lot of tuners out there. They want to be able to take this to that next level. Shelby being right over there. I know they've already got their eye on it and probably had one in their shop, but Ford has got to do something also.
Ford Racing always has a set of components that will tweak your Mustang to make it the performance feel that you want. And I know you like a little stiffer suspension and a little more horsepower. That's what you like coming out of these cars. Customizers like Classic Design or Mustang Racing Technology, they all try to put in componentry that makes that driving experience unique to you, and they're going to be working on it for this entire generation.
It's a game changer, and it really is for Mustang, and this is now a world car too.
Yes, and the 2.3 liter EcoBoost is going to be going to Europe and to other markets, but it is a great balance of power and performance. That's part of what the EcoBoost brand is. That spooling up of that turbocharger with no lag that increases that performance when you want to make it that Mustang stomp on the gas pedal. And then also the fuel economy when you don't want to drive it that hard.
Right.
The V6, the power and performance out of that car with the 6-speed manual that we have in it can be an awful lot of fun for a first-time driver.
And also the 6-speed automatic transmission with shifted capability on the steering wheel.
Yeah, because sometimes like you and I, when we're driving and we don't have the manual transmission there, we want to still control the RPMs with which we shift at.
Right.
And what better place for performance feel than kind of like Formula One, where you're shifting it off the steering wheel. Again, a lot of fun and a functional engineering that helps our consumers enjoy the car.
So this is what everybody really wants to see, is the fully independent rear suspension. I know that when people walk by and they see this, they go, oh, there it is. So here it is.
First thing you notice is the Sterling solid rear axle is gone. When you're driving down the road, basic physics, you hit a pothole. If your right wheel went into a hole and a solid rear axle, your left wheel would have to go up. What this allows you to do is have that wheel, when it hits the pothole, only have that right wheel go down, and then the left rear wheel will hold its traction.
Stays planted.
But from a racetrack perspective, You can see here, unsprung weight is a lot easier to get when you're dealing with fully independent rear suspension.
This guy right here is going to make a big difference for all us car geeks, because now we got a car that'll compete in a 4-cylinder, a V6 or a V8 class, or the sky's the limit for guys like you.
If it's your car, why not make it your interior? Visit catskin.com today to find out how. Catskin. Express. Transform. Drive.
Parts. Brought to you by Craftsman.
You may have noticed a big change here to the Motorz studio recently. Now it's not here on my workbench because it is the workbench, as well as the cabinets behind me and the cabinets that you see during the letters segment of the show. It's Craftsman's brand new line of premium heavy-duty garage organization. Now let's start with their workbenches. They're available with a butcher block like this one here, or a stainless steel worktop. They hold up to 3,000 pounds and have an adjustable height between 28 and 41 inches. Now up here are their new 30-inch hanging wall cabinets. You can hang these on Craftsman's VersaTrack system like I did, or mount them directly to the wall. And what normally is stowed away below this workbench is a couple of their new 4-drawer base cabinets on 2-inch casters. They also make a 2-door base cabinet too. Now over where we filmed the letters segment, I've got their new 36-inch wide floor cabinet, which comes in 3 different variations. One has shelves, while the other looks like a locker inside. And finally, there's the Trio that has shelves inside and 2 10-inch drawers at the bottom. One of the best things is that all their new cabinets come welded together, fully assembled. They've got magnetic door closures, locks, and this new gray hammer tone with black finish so that they stay looking great. Check them all out over at craftsman.com. Now, just in case Craftsman's new line of premium heavy-duty garage storage isn't quite enough to pack all your tools and gear away in your garage, don't forget to check out their outdoor storage sheds. Now, they've got everything from small utility sheds to a monstrous 8x16 with 882 cubic feet of storage. Now, the one I'm assembling is their mid-size 378 cubic foot resin storage building, which is roughly 8 feet wide by 7 feet deep. Assembly was a breeze too. You just need some basic hand tools, but also included is this easy bolt driver to tighten down the included fasteners for the walls. Now, after starting with some pre-assembly of the doors, header, truss, and roof, lay down the floor and secure the side panels. This is way easier than you think, as they just snap into place and tighten down using the supplied easy bolts and wrench. The headers and truss go up next, followed by the roof panels. Now, have a ladder handy for the roof, as this thing reaches well over 8 feet into the sky. The last thing to be added are the double doors and the door handles. It takes a couple of hours to assemble, and it helps to have a buddy to lend a hand. Included are these 2 corner shelves that are attached with the supplied 4 screws. You can also install the included vertical supports along the back wall, which allow you to attach Craftsman's VersaTrack track wall system, which is sold separately. So you can add any of the various VersaTrack hooks, shelves, and baskets to hold all your gear. The steel reinforced roof with dual wall resin construction withstands wind, rain, and snow, and features 4 skylights to give you plenty of light during the day. The double doors open to a full 60 inches wide and 72 inches high, so for a guy like me, it's easy to get in and out. Now, these sheds look great in any backyard too. The color is vanilla with a slate roof and weighs about 700 pounds, shipped in 2 large boxes. It's very spacious inside, and if you want more or less room, Craftsman's got you covered with their other storage shed options. Now, all of Craftsman's resin storage buildings stand up to the elements without any rust or any mold, and keep your equipment safe with a padlockable handle. I was truly impressed with how easy this shed was to assemble and how great it looks. See them all for yourself at craftsman.com. Getting stuck in snow, ice, mud, or sand can really suck, no matter how well prepared you are for that off-road excursion that you're going on. Now, whether you're hunting, fishing, hiking, camping, or whatever, sometimes you just need a little extra help. And that's why our friends at Superwinch created Gator Grips. Now, place these traction ramps under your tires and you'll have the additional traction that you need to be able to reduce the spinning of those tires to get yourself out of a jam. Now, these aren't just for cars and trucks though. They'll work for anything that has tires, including ATVs. Now they're made with a high-strength composite material which provides extra traction between your tire and the surface. To use them, just place them in front or behind the tires and drive up onto them. They're sold in a set of 2 and are 4 feet long and 13 inches wide, and even includes a strap to help pull it out should you get them buried. Now, no assembly is required, of course, and they're stackable and can be placed in the included zipper case. This is a must-have accessory for you guys and gals who like to take your ride off-road. Go to superwinch.com for more information on gator grips, or check out the parts page at motorz.tv.
E3 Diamond Fire spark plugs are the most powerful spark plugs you can buy. They deliver a more complete fuel burn, more power, better economy, and reduced emissions. E3 Diamond Fire spark plugs at auto parts and lawn and garden stores everywhere.
Letters brought to you by E3 Spark Plugs, born to burn.
Hey, just a quick reminder to check out our Facebook and Twitter accounts right here next time you're online. Now let's get to our letters. The first one comes from Victor. He writes in and says, "Hey Chris, I was told if I changed out the intake and exhaust, I would see an improvement in fuel mileage. I have noticed there's more power, but not the fuel mileage. Can you tell me why?" Well, Victor, performance improvement components like cold air induction and a less restrictive exhaust system don't always translate to better fuel economy because that can depend on your driving habits. Exhaust systems can sometimes mean less torque, especially with those larger pipe diameters, which means you're just going to hit it harder on the pedal. Now our next letter comes from Steve, and he writes in and says, "I own a 1978 F-150 and have converted it to run on propane. Does E3 spark plugs make a good substitute? All other brands have failed miserably because propane burns differently than gas." Well, Steve, I checked with E3 and they recommended their E3.42 plugs. They performed testing using propane as a fuel, and they told me that the plug performed as well, if not better, than the standard J-wire spark plug. So check them out. Now I'd like to thank Steve and Victor for writing in. They get free E3 spark plugs for their ride, and to learn more about E3's Diamond Fire technology or to see if they're available for your ride, head on over to e3sparkplugs.com. The transformation of our stock Jeep Wrangler is well underway now that I've lifted it up and given it some beefy bumpers with a winch and a few other things to start dialing it in. Now coming up soon, I've got more interior and exterior modifications to show you how to install, so keep on watching. Now I'd like to thank VPR4X4, Superwinch, Hellwig Products, MGP Caliper Covers, and Factor 55 for helping us out in this episode. Now to find out more about all the products featured or to get a list of all the great Craftsman tools to do the job, just head on over to our website. I'll catch you next time on Motorz. Take 2. I'll do this again and hopefully it won't come out with a bunch of poop. I don't like filming poop. One more time. Now let's start with their workbenches. They're available with a booker. A booker? All right, one more time. This is the good one. See them all for yourself at craftsman.com. Suck it, Trebek.